to make this necklace you see here, which I know is all kind of wound up, it wasn't supposed to be that way, but to make this cord, this necklace here, you're going to need this cord that you see and the beads. Again, the necklace looks a lot better in the picture when it's being worn. Now, I'm using this as cord. It's a microfiber suede, like a fake leather suede. I got this from Amazon. I'll have links down below to the products that I used in this video. And you have 100 yards here, so you get quite a bit. I've only done this one necklace off of this. So what you're going to want to do is two things. You need your cord and you need some sort of beads. I recommend the pony beads because they typically have a big enough of an opening to make it easy enough to thread onto the cord. Now there's two ways you can begin. One, you can put all the beads. We need 106 beads to go on your cord. If you want to leave it on the spindle, you can go ahead and put all the beads on and kind of work your way with that. However, in the video, I'm actually going to have already cut my 300 inches of this cord. And what I'm going to do is once I cut, for an example, once you cut a section, like say I got my beads on there, you're going to want to cut a section. Alright, this is what I'm working with. When you want to thread the beads on the 300 inches, if you've already cut the 300 inches off, go ahead and make a knot in one side. This will be a big enough knot that your beads will not come off. So not one side that you're working with. Then you can go ahead and thread your beads, and what will happen is they won't come off. As you can see, they won't go past that. So there's two different ways. Either leave your cording on the spindle and put all your 106 beads on beforehand, or if you cut the cord ahead of time, go ahead and put a knot on one end to keep them from falling off. Now let's go into how to make this necklace. Once you have your strip of cord cut and you have all your 106 beads on there, and remember how we did that, we end up tying the end piece to keep them on so that they wouldn't fall off. But if you're able to and you're working off the spindle, then you won't need to worry about tying it off. But again, it's going to be a little messy. As you can kind of see over here, I've got a little bit of a mess over here to deal with as we work. But you're going to bring up as many beads as you want to work with at one time, and then you can kind of pause, bring up some more of the beads as you need to, especially if you're working at a table. This may be easier to do at a table than having things hang down. If you do hear any meowing, I apologize. My cat's kind of walking around a little bit, and I apologize if the fan is a little loud. It's kind of warm in my place. Part of the reason I've been kind of postponing some video making is it's been kind of warm. But we're going to use the half of the spool Loom like we did with the last time, but we're going to use it in a slightly different way. Now I kind of was debating on what to do this with, and I decided to keep it very, very simple, because if I teach you the basic techniques, you can take and you can improve upon them and add to them as you need to. Now again, we're going to put a decent piece of string, or cord, whatever you want to call it, down through the thing, or down through the spool, or the loom. And if you have a tape measure, especially a flexible one, you can kind of decide how long you want the cord to go down, because this is what you're going to use to tie it behind your neck. So you want to give yourself plenty. So I'm going to lay down, I'm going to do about 14 inches before I do my slip knot. So I'm going to mark off 14 inches, and then I'm going to try to do the same amount on the other end. So I've got this part, I'm going to make my slip knot automatically kind of where that 14 inches were, so that I don't get confused. And instead of like we did before where we end up using 4 of the pegs, we're only going to use 2 this time. So we're going to drop this down through, and we're going to place it on a peg, give it a little tightness to it, and now we're going to go to the opposite peg on the opposite side. Okay, you can choose which peg you want to do this on, and we're going to do the E-wrap cast on just to lock this in place. So you're going to just wrap and then hold it out to the side. Grab your looming tool and knit it over to lock it into place here. That's the first cast on, and then give yourself a little tug to kind of help it tighten down in there. Now as you go, you're going to take 2 beads, work them to the front, let them slide down here, and you can choose to try to modify them more, but I would say 2 is going to be easier to come through this other end. So drop down 2 and then re-wrap, just doing the E-wrap around. It's almost, I guess you can say it's a little figure 80 and E-wrap, but just going to wrap, knit over. Give it a little tug, push those down out of your way, grab 2 more beads, drop them down, go over here, and you're going to wrap it around that way, crisscross it to this way. Now, kind of like doing the figure 8. I guess it's more figure 8-ish than it is actually E-wrap. So, knit over, give the bottom string a little tug, just gently. Do the same thing, grab yourself 2 more, drop it down, and then kind of do your gentle figure 8, moving it off to the side, knit over this side. And you're just going to keep working that through until it comes out the bottom. So again, I wanted to do a very simple design. This one's going to be a little looser compared to the other one I did. So again, we drop down the 2 beads, we come around, and we do our E-wrap. And there's my cat meowing a little bit here. So you're just going to keep continuing this, gently tugging the string, you know, the cord, whatever you want to call it, on this side to start seeing them come through. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep doing that, and you'll be able to see what it looks like coming out. Again, they're going to be a lot looser, and you have your cord here. You can kind of just tighten it up a little bit, and we've got our pretty beads coming through. So I'm going to continue that for a little bit, then I'll pop back on so you can see how it looks when it's further down. As it comes through, you can kind of see it creates this very looser feel for a necklace. There's only 2 beads being used per row, and so we get this kind of nice little, very loose, easy to catch the sunlight kind of sparkling of our beads. And that's what I like about it. So you're going to, again, continue until you get all 106 beads done, and then we'll be ready to cast this off. So again, just it's very loose, and you can kind of move the beads around a little bit if you want to into different spots. But again, it just makes for a nice, simple necklace. So I'm going to keep working until all the beads are done, and then we'll come back and we'll cast this off. I'm getting ready to do the last bit of beads. So I'm dropping it down and wrapping it the last time here, and knitting it over. Now, just like we did in the beginning, we did the cast on row, so we're going to do 1 row extra that's just a plain knitted before we bind this off. So you knit over, and knit over, and as you can see, you get a nice, beautiful kind of beaded rope cord here. Now to bind this off, we're just going to simply take a loop from one peg and put it on the other. Knit that over. You can pull your cord if you want to tighten it, and knit that over. Now what you want to do is you want to take the end of your cord and just kind of thread it through that loop that's on the peg. And then pull it all the way through. Pull this down, and your necklace is finished. And you can, if you want, you can match up the end piece with your beginning to get the same length. So I want to make sure these are matching, so I'm going to get rid of my excess. So we had originally 300 inches of this cord just to make sure we had enough, and now we're just going to snip what we don't need so it can match up to the beginning. And I apologize for my cat meowing. He's been meowing a lot, even though we took care of all the things he would need. He's got food, he's got water, he's been petted, he's been played with, and he still meows. But when you're all done, you get this cute little necklace with some beads. And if you can see, and this, when you have this outside, it should sparkle really nice with the sun. And I will get a picture of it on me so you can see how far down it goes. But again, with this cord, with this, you can tie it as tight as you want behind you. If you want a little looser, you would tie it looser. But I hope you like this quick tutorial on how to make a simple beaded necklace, and I hope you have a great day, everyone. And make sure, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.